Natalie touches on an important point. In the history of art, many of you may be aware that some of the greatest abstract painters started off as very, very accomplished figurative painters. If you look at the early works of Jackson Pollock, those of you fortunate enough to have seen Natalie's portfolio that she's come on the ship with would see this incredible figurative accomplishment. I find it fascinating to then see what I consider to be the next evolution or de-evolution of the painting when it becomes the abstract form.
Those landmark moments in life where you know you're going to be going into a different direction. And I found myself, I was so touched by watching Cary Graeber paint, and of course John, and then Aldo. And for some reason, I think, whether it was because he was using the same paints I use, but when I watched Aldo, I just started watching his paintbrushes. I felt so emotional, and I didn't know why, but I was crying watching him, but I didn't know why. And I thought, well, I've never really watched other artists because I didn't go to art school, so I've never been exposed to other artists. And Aldo had said this word that sometimes it's like an island, which I got to watch, I don't cry now. And I guess it is like an island. So it was lovely to see you paint. So I went back to my room and I painted, and I felt so great after painting this. So, and I would love to think that all of you were affected by looking at this. So, and for me, it was like a big eye of truth, that sometimes the truth is so hard to look at, but you're not living your life truly or correctly if you're not really facing the truth. Thank you for letting me share that with you, and I hope I didn't make you feel uncomfortable with my emotion. When I first started, because as I said, when I started to do the abstracts initially, I had a lot going on. So I was sort of so emotional, I actually would just rip hunks of canvas off of this big roll in my room. And I had never, ever, in now 22 years of painting, at the time it was nearly 19 years of painting, I'd never, ever done anything like this before. My whole painting career was just doing whatever anyone else wanted. Portraits of everything you can imagine, and walls and furniture, and literally painting anything that people would want on anything they wanted me to paint on. So this was such a big shock when I started to do the abstracts, because it was the first time I'd ever done anything kind of selfishly just to make myself feel good. And they were never intended to show anybody. And then people started slowly, over about a year, friends would come over and I'd slowly let them share and look at them, because they were so personal. And I found people going, oh, I love that one, or can I have that one? And I realized that other people got reactions from my paintings, and slowly I shifted my attitude, and I never ever wanted to sell them. And then one day somebody took me out to dinner and kind of told me off, and he said, who do you think you are that you have the right to keep art for yourself at home? That's not what an artist is supposed to do. They're supposed to share their art. And so that really woke me up to it, and that's, things have evolved now, and I'm somewhat more comfortable with selling them.
Thank goodness.